The morning sun rose over the Greenwood Nature Reserve, painting the sky in soft shades of orange and pink. Birds sang their songs in the tall trees. A gentle wind moved through the leaves. It was a peaceful day on Earth, but this day would not stay peaceful for long. Princess Velara of the Korvathi Empire stepped out of her shuttle and looked around. She had traveled across the stars to visit this small blue planet. Her skin was pale purple, and her eyes glowed with a soft golden light. She wore a long silver dress that touched the ground. Behind her walked 12 royal guards in black armor. They watched everything with careful eyes. But today was not about guards or politics. Today was about her daughters. Two small girls ran past Velara with excited laughter. Nira and Sola were twins, only 7 years old in human counting. They had their mother's purple skin, but their father's bright silver hair. Their eyes were wide with wonder as they looked at the trees and flowers of Earth. "Mother, look at the colors!" Nira shouted. She pointed at a red flower growing near the path. "There are so many strange plants here," Sola added. She bent down to smell the flower and sneezed. Velara smiled at her daughters. She rarely smiled in public. A princess must always look strong and serious. But her daughters made her heart soft. They were her greatest treasure, more valuable than all the planets in her empire. "Stay close to me," Velara said. "Earth is a strange world. We do not know what dangers hide here." The Korvathi had only made contact with humans 5 years ago. Most aliens in the galaxy thought humans were dangerous. They were young and wild. They fought wars among themselves. They ate the flesh of animals. Some said humans could not be trusted. But Earth had resources the Korvathi needed. Special metals, rare plants, clean water. So Velara had come to talk about trade. She had brought her daughters because the journey was long, and she could not leave them for so many months. A human woman walked toward them on the path. She wore a green uniform and a wide hat. Her name tag said Hana Park, and below that, Senior Ranger. Hana bowed her head in respect. "Welcome to Greenwood Reserve, Princess Velara. I will be your guide today." Velara looked at the human woman. Hana had kind eyes and a warm smile. She seemed honest. But Velara had learned long ago that looks could lie. "Thank you," Velara said. "My daughters wish to see the nature of your world. Please show us." Hana nodded and started walking down the forest path. The guards followed closely. Nira and Sola skipped ahead, pointing at every bird and bug they saw. "This forest is 300 years old," Hana explained. "Many animals live here. Deer, rabbits, foxes, and many kinds of birds. We protect this land so nature can grow freely." "You protect land for animals?" Velara asked. This surprised her. She had heard humans destroyed nature, not protected it. "Yes," Hana said. "We believe all life has value. Even the smallest flower deserves a place to grow." Velara thought about this. Perhaps humans were not as simple as she had believed. They walked for an hour through the beautiful forest. Nira and Sola collected leaves and small stones. They asked Hana 100 questions about earth animals. Hana answered each one with patience and kindness. Then they reached a wide meadow full of yellow flowers. A small stream ran through the middle. The water sparkled in the sunlight. "This is beautiful," Velara admitted. "Mother, can we pick flowers?" Sola asked. "Only a few," Velara said. "Do not go far." The twins ran into the meadow. The guards started to follow, but Velara raised her hand. "Let them play," she said. "They have been trapped in the shuttle for too long. They need freedom." Hana smiled. "Children are the same on every planet, I think." "Perhaps," Velara said. They stood at the edge of the meadow, watching the girls play. Velara's communicator buzzed. She looked at the screen and frowned. "I must take this call," she said. It is from the council. Hana nodded. I will watch your daughters. Valara walked a short distance away and spoke into her communicator. The call was about trade agreements and resource quotas. Boring but important work. She spoke for 10 minutes, then 15. When she finally ended the call, she turned back to the meadow. Hana stood alone. Valara's blood turned cold. Where are my daughters? Hana's face was pale. They were just here, princess. They were picking flowers by the stream. I looked away for one moment, and one moment? Valara's voice rose. You lost the daughters of an empire in one moment? The guards rushed forward. Princess, what happened? Find them. Valara commanded. Find Nira and Sola now. The guards spread out across the meadow. They searched the tall grass and the stream bank. They called the girls' names again and again. But there was no answer. Valara felt her heart pounding. Fear wrapped around her chest like cold chains. Her daughters were everything to her. Without them, she was nothing. They cannot be far, Hana said. Children move slowly. They must be nearby. If they are harmed, Valara said, her voice shaking with anger and fear, I will burn this planet to ash. Hana flinched but did not run. I understand your fear, princess. But threats will not find your daughters. Let me call for help. Hana pulled out her radio. This is Ranger Hana at Meadow 7. We have 2 missing children. Repeat, 2 missing children. Need all available rangers for search and rescue. A voice crackled back. Copy that, Hana. Sending all units. What do the children look like? They are Korvathi, Hana said. Purple skin, silver hair. Twin girls, about 7 years old in human age. They wear white dresses. Understood. All rangers, be aware. Missing children in the forest. Purple skin, silver hair. This is top priority. Within minutes, more humans arrived. They wore green uniforms like Hana. Some brought dogs that could follow smells. Others carried maps and flashlights. Valara watched them work. She wanted to scream. She wanted to use her power and tear the forest apart until she found her girls. But she knew that would help nothing. Princess, one of her guards said, we should consider the possibility of kidnapping. Earth has many factions. Some may want to harm the Empire. Valara's eyes filled with tears she refused to let fall. If someone has taken my daughters, they will beg for death before I am finished with them. Hana approached carefully. Princess Valara, please come with me. We have set up a command center nearby. You can rest there while we search. I cannot rest, Valara said. I must search. With respect, Hana said gently, you do not know this forest. You could get lost yourself. Let us do our job. We will find your daughters. Valara wanted to argue, but she knew Hana was right. She did not know Earth. She did not know its dangers or its secrets. She had to trust these humans, even though trust was difficult for her. Very well, she said. But I want reports every 5 minutes. Of course, Hana said. They walked to a small building near the edge of the forest. Inside, rangers looked at maps and talked on radios. One wall had many screens showing pictures from cameras hidden in the trees. We have cameras throughout the reserve, Hana explained. We are checking them all now. If your daughters passed any camera, we will see them. Valara sat in a chair but could not relax. Every minute felt like an hour. Every second without news was torture. One of her guards came to her. Princess, I have spoken with the shuttle. They have scanned the area from above. No signs of ships or vehicles leaving the reserve. If the children were kidnapped, the kidnappers are still here. Or perhaps they were not kidnapped at all, Valara said. Perhaps they simply wandered away. She thought of her daughters. Nira was brave and curious. Sola was gentle and dreamy. Both loved to explore. They had been so excited about Earth's nature. Maybe they had seen something interesting and followed it without thinking. Please, Valara whispered to herself. Please let them be safe. An hour passed. Then, too, the sun began to set, painting the sky in shades of purple and red. The forest grew dark. Hana came to Valara with a fresh report. We've searched most of the reserve. No sign of your daughters yet. But we found small footprints near the eastern trail. Footprints? Valara stood quickly. Take me there. Princess, it is getting dark. I said take me there. Hana nodded and led Valara outside. They walked through the darkening forest with flashlights. The guards followed in silence. They reached a narrow trail covered with soft dirt. Hana pointed her flashlight at the ground. There, she said. Valara knelt down. She saw small footprints in the dirt. 2 sets. The size of her daughter's feet. They went this way, Valara said. Where does this trail lead? Hana checked her map. It leads to the camping area. We have a ranger station there, and some campers set up tents nearby. Campers? Yes, people who sleep in the forest for fun. One of our rangers, Jiho, is stationed there tonight. Valara felt a spark of hope. Then let us go there, now. They followed the trail through the dark forest. Valara's heart beat fast with each step. She prayed to all the gods of her people that her daughters were safe. The trail opened into a clearing. Several tents stood in the darkness. A small fire burned near one tent, casting orange light on the trees. Jiho! Hana called. Jiho, are you here? No answer came from the darkness. Valara moved forward. Her guards raised their weapons, ready for danger. Then she heard a sound that made her stop. Laughter. Small, gentle laughter. The laughter of children. Her children. Valara ran toward the sound. She reached a large blue tent and pulled open the flap. Inside, in the warm glow of a small. The young man in the tent did not move. He lay very still, holding the 2 sleeping alien children against his chest. His eyes watched Valara with a mix of worry and calm. He did not look like a kidnapper. He looked like someone who had done a simple kindness and now feared punishment for it. Please, he whispered again. They were crying in the forest. I could not leave them alone. Valara's guards pushed into the tent behind her. They pointed their weapons at the human. Step away from the princess's daughters, the lead guard commanded. The human looked at the weapons and then at the sleeping children. If I move too fast, I will wake them. They cried for a long time before they fell asleep. Please, let me move slowly. Valara raised her hand. Wait. The guards paused but kept their weapons ready. Valara stepped closer and knelt beside the blankets. She looked at her daughters' faces. Nira's cheeks were stained with dried tears, but she was smiling in her sleep. Sola held a small yellow flower in her hand, even as she dreamed. They looked peaceful. They looked safe. What is your name? Valara asked the human. Jiho, he said. Kim Jiho. I am a ranger here. I take care of this camping area. Tell me what happened. Tell me everything. Do not lie to me, Jiho Kim. I will know if you lie. Jiho nodded slowly. He spoke in a soft voice, trying not to wake the children. It was maybe 3 hours ago, he began. I was checking the trails near here. I make sure the paths are safe and clean. I heard crying in the forest. Small voices. I followed the sound. He paused, remembering. I found them by a big oak tree. They were sitting on the ground, holding each other. Their faces were wet with tears. They looked so scared. Valara felt pain in her heart. Her daughters had been scared and alone. She had failed to protect them. What did you do? She asked. I spoke to them gently. I said, hello, little ones. Are you lost? They looked at me with big eyes. I think they were afraid of me at first. I am human, and they are. Not human. Korvathi, Valara said. Yes, Korvathi. I knew there were alien visitors in the reserve today. We were told to be respectful and careful. So I knelt down to look small and not scary. I asked their names. What did they say? Jiho smiled a little. The brave one said, I am Princess Nira of the Korvathi Empire, and you must help us. The quiet one just said, I am Sola. I want my mother. Valara almost smiled. That sounded exactly like her daughters. I told them I would help, Jiho continued. I asked if they remembered which way they came from. They did not know. They had followed a butterfly and then got lost. A butterfly? Yes, a blue and gold butterfly. We have many of them here. They are very beautiful. Your daughters wanted to catch one and show it to you. Valara closed her eyes. Of course, her daughters had chased a butterfly into the forest. Such a simple, innocent thing. Such a dangerous thing. I tried to radio for help, Jiho said. But my radio was broken. The battery died this morning, and I forgot to replace it. I am sorry. That was my mistake. So what did you do? Valara asked. I knew I could not leave them in the forest. It was getting late. The sun would set soon, and the forest gets very cold at night. So I carried them back to my tent. You carried them? Yes, one on my back and one in my arms. They are small and light. Jiho looked embarrassed. The brave one nearer she complained at first. She said princesses do not ride on the backs of common people. But she was tired, so she stopped complaining after a few minutes. Valara could imagine it. Nira giving commands from Jiho's back. Sola holding tight to his neck, afraid to let go. When we reached the tent, I made a fire to keep them warm. I gave them water and some food. Just simple things. Bread and fruit. I did not know what Korvathi children eat, so I gave them choices. They liked the strawberries very much. Strawberries? Red fruit. Very sweet. They ate many of them. Valara had never heard of strawberries. But if her daughters liked them, she would remember this. After they ate, they were still sad, Jiho said. They missed their mother. They asked me to find you, but I could not leave them alone to search. And my radio did not work. So I decided to wait here and hope someone would come. You waited? Yes. I told them stories to help them feel better. Stories about brave princesses who went on adventures and always found their way home. Nira liked the exciting parts. Sola liked the happy endings. Jiho looked down at the sleeping girls with gentle eyes. After many stories, they grew sleepy. They asked if they could rest in my tent. I said yes. I gave them my blankets and my pillow. They asked me to stay with them. They did not want to be alone. His voice became very soft. So I lay down beside them. I thought I would just stay until they fell asleep. But then they held on to me. They held my shirt and would not let go. They said I made them feel safe. Jiho's eyes were wet now. Not quite crying, but close. I have a little sister, he said. She's grown now, but I remember when she was small. When she was scared, she would hold on to me just like this. I could not push your daughters away. They needed someone. I was the only one there. Valara stared at this human man. This simple ranger who lived in the forest and told stories to lost children. He had no weapons, no power, no special abilities. He was just a person who saw two scared little girls and decided to help them dot in her long life. Valara had met many powerful people. Kings and queens, generals, and diplomats. She had seen people do terrible things for power and money. She had learned to trust no one outside her family, but this man had asked for nothing. He had simply helped because helping was the right thing to do. Princess, the lead guard said, we should take the children and leave. This human should be questioned properly. Jiho's face showed fear. I did not mean any harm. Please, believe me. Valara looked at her guard. Stand down. But Princess, I said stand down. This man protected my daughters. He is not our enemy. The guard hesitated, then lowered his weapon. The others followed. Valara turned back to Jiho. I believe you. I can see the truth in your eyes. You have my thanks, Jiho Kim. Jiho let out a breath of relief. Thank you, Princess. I was afraid you would be angry with me. I was angry, Valara admitted. When I could not find my daughters, I wanted to destroy everything. I said things I should not have said. Fear makes us do foolish things. Fear is very powerful, Jiho agreed. But love is more powerful. Your love for your daughters brought you here. That is a beautiful thing. Valara did not know how to respond. No one had ever spoken to her this way. Most people feared her title and her power. They told her what she wanted to hear, not what they really thought. But this human spoke from his heart. Hana appeared at the tent entrance. Her face showed relief when she saw the children. They are safe, she breathed. Oh, thank goodness. Thanks to your colleague, Valara said. Jiho found them and kept them warm. Hana looked at Jiho with pride. That sounds like Jiho. He has the kindest heart of anyone I know. Jiho's face turned red. Hana, please. You are embarrassing me. It is true, Hana said. Last month, you stayed up all night to help a mother deer give birth. The month before, you built houses for the birds because winter was coming early. You care about every living thing in this forest. That is just my job, Jiho mumbled. No, Valara said. That is who you are. Your job does not require you to carry lost alien children through the forest. Your job does not require you to hold them while they sleep. You did those things because you have a good heart. Jiho looked at the ground, still embarrassed by the praise. Nira stirred in her sleep. Her eyes fluttered open. Mother? She said in a sleepy voice. I am here, little star, Valara said softly. I am here. Nira sat up and looked around. When she saw Valara, her face lit up with joy. Mother! She cried and threw herself into Valara's arms. Valara held her daughter tight. Tears she had held back all day finally fell down her cheeks. She did not care who saw. She had her daughter back. That was all that mattered. The noise woke Sola, who also began to cry and reach for her mother. Valara pulled both girls into her arms and held them close. We were so scared, Sola sobbed. We got lost and could not find you. But the nice human helped us, Nira said. He found us and gave us strawberries and told us stories. I know, Valara said. He told me everything. You were very brave, both of you. Jiho is very kind, Sola said. He said he would keep us safe until you came. And he did. Valara looked at Jiho over her daughters' heads. He sat quietly, watching the reunion with a gentle smile. He did not ask for thanks or rewards. He seemed happy just to see the family together again. Jiho, Nira said, pulling away from her mother. Tell my mother about the brave princess who fought the dragon. Maybe later, little one, Jiho said. Your mother must be very tired. She searched for you all day, but it is a good story. Nira insisted. The princess was not scared of anything, just like me. I would like to hear this story, Valara said. But not tonight. Tonight, we must return to our shuttle. Your father will be worried. Father is here? So asked, surprised. He is traveling to meet us. He received my message about you going missing. He is probably very scared right now. We must tell him you are safe. The twins looked sad to leave. They had clearly grown fond of Jiho in the short time they knew him. Can Jiho come with us? Nira asked. To see our shuttle? Mira, Jiho has his own work. He cannot. Please, mother? He was so nice to us. I want him to see our home. Valara looked at Jiho. Would you like to visit our shuttle? It is the least I can offer after what our prince consort Dravik appeared on the large screen. His face was tight with worry, and his golden eyes burned with fear. He was a tall man with broad shoulders and dark purple skin, darker than Valara's. His silver hair was messy, as if he had been running his hands through it for hours. Valara, he shouted. What happened? Are the girls safe? My ship is still 3 hours away. I have been going mad with worry. Valara held up her hands. Peace, my love. The children are safe. They were found. They are here on the shuttle with me. Dravik's entire body seemed to collapse with relief. He put his hands over his face and took a deep breath. Thank the stars, he whispered. Thank all the stars in the sky. They wandered into the forest and got lost, Valara explained. A human found them and kept them safe until we arrived. Dravik looked up sharply. A human? One of those dangerous creatures? He is not dangerous. He is a forest ranger. He cares for the land and the animals. When he found our daughters crying in the forest, he carried them to shelter, fed them, and stayed with them until I came. Why did he not contact someone? His communication device was broken. He did what he could with what he had. Dravik was silent for a moment. His fear slowly changed to confusion. He helped them? Without being asked? Without expecting payment? Yes, that is, unexpected. The report said humans are selfish and violent. Perhaps the reports are wrong, Valara said. Or perhaps they tell only part of the truth. This human showed me something different. He showed me kindness without condition. Dravik shook his head slowly. I must see this human for myself. I must thank him for saving our daughters. He is here, on the shuttle. The girls would not let him leave. They have grown fond of him already. Then I will meet him when I arrive. Keep him there, Valara. I have questions for this strange human. Do not frighten him, Valara warned. He is gentle. He does not understand politics or power. He is simply a good person. Dravik raised an eyebrow. My wife defends a human? The galaxy truly is full of surprises. Do not tease me, husband. Just come quickly. The children want to see their father. The screen went dark, and Valara returned to the main room of the shuttle. She found Jiho sitting on the floor with Nira and Sola. They were playing some kind of game with small stones. Jiho was teaching them, and the girls were laughing at their own mistakes. No, you must stack them carefully, Jiho said. Like building a house. If the bottom is not strong, everything falls down. Like this. Sola placed a stone on top of another. Perfect. You are a natural builder, Princess Sola. Sola beamed with pride. Nira knocked over a stack of stones and pouted. This game is too slow. I want to play a fast game. Patience is important, Jiho said. Fast games are fun, but slow games teach us to think carefully. Both are valuable. Valara watched from the doorway. This human had a gift with children. He spoke to them with respect, not treating them like foolish babies. He explained things simply, but did not talk down to them. Many teachers in our palace could learn from him. Mother! Nira spotted her. Jiho is teaching us a human game. It is called stacking stones. Sola is winning. I see that, Valara said, sitting down near them. What else did Jiho teach you? He taught us a song, Sola said, about a bird that flies over the mountains. It is a children's song from my country, Jiho explained. My grandmother taught it to me when I was young. Can you sing it for me? Valara asked. G-Ho looked embarrassed. I am not a good singer, princess. We will help, Nira said. We know the words now. The three of them sang together. Jiho's voice was soft and a little shaky. The twins did not know all the words, so they hummed parts of it. The song was simple and sweet, about a small bird who left its home to see the world but always remembered where it came from. When they finished, Valara found herself smiling. "That was beautiful," she said. "My grandmother said music connects people," Jiho said. "Even if we speak different languages, we can understand each other through song. Your grandmother sounds wise." She was. She passed away 2 years ago, but I still hear her voice in my mind. She taught me everything important: how to be kind, how to be patient, how to see the good in others. "She raised you well," Valara said. "She tried her best. I try to live the way she taught me. I do not always succeed, but I try." The shuttle door opened, and the chief advisor entered. "Princess, we have received a message from the Galactic Council. They have heard about the incident and wish to know if there will be consequences." Valara frowned. "Consequences? For what?" "For the children going missing on Earth. Some council members are suggesting that humans are not capable of keeping visitors safe. They say Earth should be restricted from diplomatic contact until they improve their security." Jiho looked worried. "I am sorry. Is this my fault?" "No," Valara said firmly. "This is not your fault. My daughters wandered off on their own. You helped them. The fault lies with no one, or perhaps only with a beautiful butterfly." She turned to her advisor. "Tell the council that there will be no consequences. The incident was an accident, and it was resolved peacefully, thanks to the help of a human citizen. If anything, this proves that humans can be trusted. They helped a foreign princess's children without asking for anything in return." The advisor looked surprised. "You wish to defend the humans, princess?" "I wish to speak the truth." "Is that so strange?" "No, princess. I will send the message." The advisor left, and Valara sighed. "Politics," she muttered. "Everything becomes politics." "What is politics?" Nira asked. "It is when adults argue about things instead of doing them," Valara said. Jiho laughed softly. "That is a very good definition, princess." An hour passed. The twins fell asleep again, this time on soft beds in the shuttle's rest area. Jiho and Valara sat in the main room, talking quietly. "Tell me about your life," Valara said. "What is it like to be a forest ranger?" Jiho thought for a moment. "It is quiet. I spend most of my time alone in the forest. I walk the trails, check on the animals, fix things that break. Sometimes I guide visitors like you. Mostly, I just watch and listen. Is it lonely?" "Sometimes. But I do not mind loneliness. The forest is full of life. The trees, the birds, the small creatures in the bushes. I am never truly alone. I am just alone from other humans." "Why did you choose this life?" Jiho looked at his hands. "When I was young, my family went through hard times. My father left us, and my mother worked very hard to feed us. I spent a lot of time in the park near our home, just to escape the small apartment. The trees and the flowers became my friends. They did not judge me or pity me. They just existed, beautiful and peaceful." He smiled sadly. "When I grew up, I wanted to protect those trees and flowers. I wanted to make sure other children could find peace in nature the way I did. So I became a ranger." Valara studied his face. There was old pain there, hidden behind his gentle eyes, but also strength. He had taken his suffering and turned it into something good. "You are a remarkable person, Jiho," she said. "I am just ordinary," he said. "There are many people like me. People who want to help others, who want to make the world a little better. We are not famous or powerful, but we are everywhere. On my world, people like you are rare. Most people want power and wealth. They step on others to climb higher. Kindness is seen as weakness. That is sad, Jiho said. Kindness is not weak. It takes great strength to be kind when the world is hard. Anyone can be cruel. Cruelty is easy. Kindness requires choice. It requires effort. It is the harder path, but it leads to better places. Valara had never thought of it that way. You speak like a philosopher, she said. My grandmother again, Jiho said with a small laugh. She had many sayings. I think I remember them all. The shuttle shook slightly as another ship docked with it. Valara stood up. My husband has arrived. The door opened, and Prince Consort Dradek strode in. He was even more impressive in person than on the screen. He wore dark battle armor, as if he had been ready to fight whoever had taken his daughters. Where are they? He demanded. Where are my children? Sleeping, Valara said. They are exhausted from their adventure. Dradek's eyes swept the room and landed on Jiho. The human looked very small next to the tall Karvathi prince. You are the one who found them? Dradek asked. Jiho stood and bowed his head. Yes, Your Highness. I am Kim Jiho. Dradek stepped closer, looking down at the human with intense eyes. Jiho did not back away, but his hands trembled slightly. Tell me what happened, Dradek commanded. Every detail. Jiho repeated his story. He spoke calmly and clearly, describing how he found the children, brought them to safety, and waited for help. He left nothing out. When he finished, Dravak was silent for a long moment. You could have ignored them, the prince said. You could have reported their location and left someone else to handle it. Why did you stay with them? Because they were scared, Jiho said simply. They were children, alone and afraid. I could not leave them. But they are aliens. They are different from you. Why should you care about alien children? Jiho looked confused by the question. They are children. That is all that matters. It does not matter what color their skin is or what planet they come from. A scared child is a scared child. They needed help, so I helped them. Dravik stared at the human. Then, SL. 3 days passed since the incident in the forest. Jiho had returned to his ranger duties, but everything felt different now. His quiet life in the woods seemed smaller somehow, like a single tree in a vast galaxy of forests. The princess had given him a communication device before he left the shuttle. It was small and silver, fitting in the palm of his hand. She said he could use it to contact her family anytime. She said the twins would want to talk to him. G-Ho kept the device on his bedside table. Every night, it glowed softly, reminding him that somewhere among the stars, an alien princess remembered his name. On the 4th day, the device buzzed. Jiho picked it up carefully. A small screen lit up showing Nira's face. Jiho. Jiho, can you hear me? I can hear you, Princess Nira, Jiho said, smiling. Guess what? Mother said you can come visit us soon. She's talking to the council about it right now. They want to know all about you. The council? Yes, the boring old people who ask too many questions. But Mother says they will agree because Father is being very loud about it. Jiho laughed. He could imagine the fierce prince shouting at politicians until they agreed with him. I hope I do not cause trouble for your family, Jiho said. You will not cause trouble. Everyone wants to meet the human who saved us. You are famous now. Famous? Jiho's smile faded. I do not want to be famous. I just did what anyone would do. Nira tilted her head, confused. But Mother says humans do not always help strangers. She says some humans are mean and scary. Some are, Jiho admitted. Just like some Karvathi are probably mean and scary too. But most people, on any world, are just trying to live good lives. Most people will help if they can. Do you really believe that? I do. My grandmother taught me that everyone has good inside them, even if sometimes it is hidden very deep. She said our job is to find that good and help it grow. Your grandmother sounds nice. I wish I could have met her. She would have loved you and your sister. She always wanted grandchildren of her own, but Jiho paused. It did not happen that way. Maybe Sola and I can be like your grandchildren, Nira said cheerfully. Honorary grandchildren. Is that a thing? Jiho felt warmth spread through his chest. I think it can be a thing, yes. Good. Then it is decided. Sola, come here. We have a grandfather now. Sola appeared on the screen beside her sister. A grandfather? Really? Jiho said yes. Well, he said he thinks it can be a thing, which is almost the same as yes. Sola looked at Jiho with her big golden eyes. Do you want to be our grandfather, Jiho? I would be honored, Jiho said, though I am quite young to be a grandfather. Age does not matter, Sola said seriously. Mother says age is just a number. What matters is how you treat people. Your mother is very wise. A door opened on the screen, and Valara entered the room. She saw the communication device and smiled. Bothering Jiho again, I see, she said to her daughters. We are not bothering him, Nira said. We are making important family decisions. Oh? What decisions? Jiho is our grandfather now. We decided. Valara raised an eyebrow and looked at Jiho through the screen. Did you agree to this? I may have agreed to something, Jiho said. Things happened very fast. Valara laughed. It was a real laugh, not a polite princess laugh. Jiho realized he had never heard her laugh before. It was a nice sound. My daughters have a way of getting what they want, Valara said. I apologize if they pressured you. They did not pressure me. I am happy to be their honorary grandfather, though I am not sure what duties that requires. Stories, Nira said immediately. Grandfathers tell stories and give presents on special days. And teach us things, Sola added. Important things, like how to stack stones. I see. These are important duties. I will do my best. Valara shooed her daughters away from the screen. Go play. I need to speak with Jiho privately. The twins complained but left the room. Valara sat down where they had been, her face now serious. Jiho, I have news. The Galactic Council has finished their review of the incident. They have agreed to let you visit our world. In fact, they insist on it. They insist? News of what you did has spread, not just on our world, but across the galaxy. A human who saved alien children without asking for reward. Many species are curious about you. They want to understand how a human could act with such selfless kindness. Jiho felt uncomfortable. I told you, I am not special. Many humans would have done the same. That is exactly what makes this interesting. You say this behavior is normal for humans, but most alien species do not believe that. We have heard stories of human wars, human greed, human violence. We assumed all humans were dangerous. Some are dangerous, Jiho said, but not most. Most of us just want to live peacefully. We want to love our families and help our neighbors. The violent ones get more attention, but they are not the majority. Valara leaned closer to the screen. This is what we want to understand. For years, many species have avoided humans because of fear. But if you are telling the truth, if most humans are like you, then perhaps we have been wrong. I am telling the truth, Jiho said firmly. I am just an ordinary person. There are millions like me. Teachers, doctors, farmers, shopkeepers, ordinary people who help others every day without expecting anything in return. Then come to our world and show them. Let them see what an ordinary human is really like. Let them understand that not all humans are monsters from the news broadcasts. Jiho took a deep breath. This was much bigger than he had expected. He had thought maybe he would visit, meet the family, see some alien gardens, and go home. Now it sounded like he was supposed to represent his entire species. "I do not know if I can do that," he said. "I am not a diplomat or a speaker. I am just a ranger who takes care of trees. That is exactly why you should come. We do not need another diplomat with rehearsed speeches. We need a real person. Someone genuine. Someone who acts from the heart without calculating the benefits." Jiho was quiet for a long moment. He thought about his grandmother, who had always told him to be brave, to help others, to make the world a little better than he found it. What would she say if she could see him now? She would say go. "Okay," Jiho said. "I will come. But I will not pretend to be anything I am not. I will just be myself." Valara smiled with genuine warmth. "That is all we ask." 1 week later, Jiho stood in the meadow where everything had begun. A shuttle descended from the sky, much larger than the one he had seen before. Rangers and visitors gathered at the edge of the reserve, watching with wide eyes. Hana stood beside Jiho. She was crying a little. "I cannot believe you are really going," she said. "To another planet. To meet alien royalty. Our Jiho, the quiet forest boy." "I will come back," Jiho said. "This is my home. I could never leave it forever." "You better come back. Who else will fix the birdhouses when they break?" They hugged tightly. Jiho had not realized how much he would miss this place, these people, this simple life. The shuttle door opened. Nira and Sola ran out, followed by their parents. "Jiho!" The twins shouted together, rushing to hug him. Jiho knelt down and caught them both. They were warm and small, and their silver hair tickled his face. "We missed you," Nira said. "It has been so long." "It has only been a week," Jiho said with a smile. "That is very long when you are waiting." Valara approached with her husband. Dravik looked less fierce than before, though he still wore his impressive armor. "Jiho," the prince said. "Are you ready?" "I think so. I packed very little. I was not sure what to bring." "Bring yourself. That is enough." They boarded the shuttle together. Jiho looked out the window as they rose above the forest. He saw the trees he had walked among for years, the trails he had maintained, the streams where he had watched fish swim. It all grew smaller and smaller until it was just a green spot on a blue-brown sphere. Then Earth itself grew small, and soon it was just another dot among the stars. "It is strange," Jiho said softly. "My whole life was down there, and now it looks so tiny." "The universe is very large," Valara said, sitting beside him. "It makes all of us feel small sometimes. But size does not determine importance. A single act of kindness can be more powerful than 1,000 warships." Jiho thought about this. Is that what the council wants? They want me to show them kindness? They want to understand you, and through you, to understand humanity. For generations, our species have kept our distance from Earth. We feared what humans might do if we got too close. But now, some are starting to wonder if that fear was misguided. "It probably was," Jiho said. "Fear often is." The journey took 3 days. Jiho spent the time with the twins, teaching them more games and songs. He learned Kovathi Game's 2 strange things with colored crystals and mental puzzles that made his head hurt. Nira always wanted to play competitive games. Sola preferred quiet activities where they could talk. "Jiho," Sola asked one evening, "why do humans fear aliens?" Jiho thought carefully before answering. "Because you are different. Humans often fear what they do not understand. It is not a good thing, but it is true. But you did not fear us. You helped us right away." "I was a little scared at first," Jiho admitted. When I saw you in the forest, I did not know what to expect. But then I saw you crying, and my fear went away. I saw two children who needed help. The fear did not matter anymore. So fear can be beaten by caring about others? Yes, I think so. When we truly care about someone, we stop seeing them as strange or different. We just see them as people. And the palace was larger than Jiho had imagined anything could be. Halls stretched so far he could not see their ends. Ceilings rose so high they seemed to touch the sky. Crystal chandeliers floated without any support, glowing with soft purple light. Everywhere Jiho walked, Kavathi stopped to stare at him. Some looked curious. Some looked suspicious. A few looked afraid. "Do not mind them," Valara said as they walked through the grand entrance. "They have never seen a human before. You are like a creature from legends to them." "Am I a good creature or a bad creature in these legends?" Jiho asked. "That depends on who tells the story. Today, we will try to write a new legend." They led him to a great hall where hundreds of Kavathi had gathered. At the far end sat a row of elders in flowing robes, the Galactic Council representatives. Their faces were stern and unreadable. Valara walked Gaiho to the center of the room. The twins stayed close behind, their small hands touching his back for comfort. "Honored council members," Valara announced. "I present Kim Jiho of Earth. He is the human who rescued my daughters from the forest." The room was silent. Every eye focused on Jiho. One of the elders, a female with deep blue skin and white hair, spoke first. "Human, you claim to have helped the royal children without expecting reward. Is this true?" Jiho cleared his throat. "Yes, honored elder. It is true. Why? What did you hope to gain?" "Nothing. They were lost and scared. I helped them because they needed help." A murmur ran through the crowd. The elder leaned forward. "You expect us to believe that you acted without any selfish motivation. On our world, such behavior is extremely rare. Everything is an exchange. Everything has a price." Jiho thought about how to answer. He remembered his grandmother's words about speaking from the heart. "On Earth, we have a saying," he said. "We say that the true measure of a person is how they treat those who can do nothing for them. Children cannot pay me. Lost travelers cannot offer me power. But they still deserve kindness." "Kindness," another elder repeated. "A weak word. Kindness does not build empires. Kindness does not win wars." "That is true," Jiho agreed. "Kindness does not build empires. But empires eventually fall. And when they fall, what remains? Only the memories of how we treated each other. The cruel are forgotten or hated. But those who showed kindness, they are loved for generations." The elders looked at each other. This was not the answer they had expected. "Let me tell you a story," Jiho continued. He was nervous, but the words came naturally. "My grandmother raised me alone after my father left, and my mother had to work long hours. We were poor. We lived in a small room with barely enough food. But my grandmother never stopped helping others. The room was quiet, listening. One winter, an old man came to our door. He was hungry and cold. My grandmother gave him her own dinner. I was angry. I said, 'Grandmother, we have so little. Why give to strangers?' Do you know what she said?" Jiho paused, feeling the memory warm in his chest. She said, "We give because we can. Even the smallest gift can save a life. And a life saved will save others. Kindness spreads like ripples in water. One stone creates waves that reach shores you cannot see." He looked around at the alien faces watching him. "That old man survived the winter because of my grandmother's meal. Years later, I learned that he became a teacher. He helped hundreds of children get education. Those children grew up and helped others. All because one poor old woman shared her dinner. The Blue Elder spoke again, her voice softer now. You believe small acts can change the world? I know they can. The twins were just two lost children in a forest. I was just one ranger with some bread and strawberries. But here we are now, standing in a palace, speaking to the leaders of an empire. One small act of kindness brought us here. Valara stepped forward. Council members, I have watched this human closely. I have questioned him and tested him. I believe he speaks truth. Humans are not the monsters we thought they were. Or at least, not all of them. What do you propose, Princess? An elder asked. I propose that we end our isolation from Earth. Let us open real communication. Let us send ambassadors and receive them in return. Let humans show us who they truly are, not what our fears tell us they might be. The council murmured among themselves. Finally, the Blue Elder stood. This is a significant decision. We cannot make it based on one human's words, no matter how moving. She looked at Jiho. We require proof. We require time to observe. Then let me stay, Jiho said suddenly. The word surprised even him. Let me stay here for a while. Let your people know me. Ask me any question. Watch how I live. If, after time passes, you still doubt human kindness, then perhaps your fears are correct. But if you see that I am genuine, then perhaps you will believe. Dravik stepped forward, his armor gleaming. The human will stay as a guest of the royal family. He will have full protection and access to our world. This I swear as Prince Consort. The twins rushed forward before anyone could stop them. Yes, Jiho will stay. Nira shouted. He can live in the palace with us. I will show him the gardens, Sola said excitedly. And the library. And the crystal caves. The council could not help but smile at the children's joy. Even the stern Blue Elder's face softened. Very well, she said. The human may stay as a royal guest. We will observe and decide in time. The formal meeting ended, and the crowd slowly left the great hall. Jiho felt exhausted. He had just spoken to the leaders of an alien empire and offered to stay on their planet. What had he been thinking? But when Nira and Sola grabbed his hands and pulled him toward the gardens, chattering about all the things they wanted to show him, he knew he had made the right choice. The months that followed were unlike anything Jiho had experienced. He lived in a beautiful room, in the palace, with windows that looked out over crystal waterfalls. Every day, he explored the alien world with the twins as his guides. He saw forests where trees grew upside down, their roots reaching toward the sky. He visited markets where merchants sold glowing fruits and singing flowers. He watched sunset turn the purple sky into shades of gold and red. And everywhere he went, he was kind. He helped an old Korvathi woman carry her packages. He played with children in the streets, teaching them Earth games. He listened to people's stories without judging them. He shared his own stories freely, holding nothing back. At first, the Korvata were suspicious. They waited for him to reveal his true nature, to show the violence and greed they expected from humans. But it never came. Slowly, people began to approach him without fear. They asked him questions about Earth, about humans, about life. He answered honestly, even when the answers were uncomfortable. Yes, humans have wars, he told a group of curious students. We have done terrible things to each other. I will not pretend otherwise. But we have also done wonderful things. We have created art and music. We have healed the sick and fed the hungry. We are not perfect, but we are trying to be better. How can we know which kind of human we will meet? A student asked. You cannot know for certain, but you can give people a chance to show you who they are. If you assume everyone is dangerous, you will never discover the good ones. And the good ones, I believe, are the majority. News of Jiho's presence spread beyond Korath Prime. Other species heard about the kind human who had saved alien children and now lived peacefully among the Korvathi. Ambassadors came to meet him. Scholars came to study him. Children came to hear his stories. 1 year after Jiho arrived, the Galactic Council held another meeting. "We have observed the human called Jiho for many cycles," the Blue Elder announced. "We have watched him live among us. We have seen him help our people without asking for reward. We have heard him speak truth, even when it was difficult." She paused, looking around the hall. "It is the judgment of this council that Jiho represents the best of humanity. We recommend opening formal diplomatic relations with Earth. Let this be a new chapter in galactic history." The hall erupted in applause. Jiho stood with Valara, Dravik, and the twins. Tears ran down his face, though he was smiling. "You did it," Valara said. "You changed everything." "I did not do anything," Jiho said. "I just lived the way my grandmother taught me." "Then your grandmother changed everything," Dravik said. "The lessons passed through you will now shape the future of two worlds." Nira tugged at Jiho's sleeve. "Does this mean other humans will come here now?" "Yes, probably. Will they all be as nice as you?" Jiho knelt down to look at her. "I hope so. But if any of them are not nice, you must remember something important." "What?" "Kindness is a choice. Not everyone makes it. But you can. No matter what others do, you can choose to be kind. And your kindness will spread like ripples in water. Even if the world is full of stones that do not care, your ripples will reach shores you cannot see." Sola hugged him tight. "We will be kind, Jiho. We promise." "I know you will. That is why I am not worried about the future." That night, there was a grand celebration. Music filled the palace halls. People danced and laughed and celebrated the new friendship between worlds. Jiho stood on a balcony, looking up at the strange alien stars. Somewhere out there, past countless light years of space, was a small blue planet called Earth. His home. He missed the forest. He missed the birds and